Hey guys, what's up? Lewin here at GarageBand and Beyond. Welcome back for the 150th video. Woohoo! Who would have ever thought I would have made it this far? I know I'm sure I said a lot of these same things in the 100th video, but it's amazing. It blows my mind every time I think of it. And I can't thank you guys enough. You're amazing viewers, amazing subscribers, the best ones on YouTube. And I am very grateful to all of you. So the idea for today's video, I actually pulled this idea off of the Facebook page for GarageBand and Beyond. I had asked a question because I was not coming up with any great ideas for today's video. And I think it was Paolo, I think that was you, who suggested that I do a personal history video. And, that actually sounded pretty good to me because I'd already been requested. That has been requested so many times, and I've always been like, oh, nobody really cares. But now it's been requested a bunch of times, so I think maybe some of you care. So anyway, personal history about me. So that's what we're going to do today. You're going to learn all about me. It's going to be so exciting. So first off, I'm 37 years old, and I know that probably comes as a big shock to a lot of you, but it's true. I was born in 1975 and couldn't be happier about it. So I've been playing music since I was a little kid, but I've really been like a professional musician and in the industry working since I was 17. So for the better part, 20 years plus probably. It really, of course, it starts at home. My mom's a piano player and a singer, and my father is an accordion player and a banjo player and a dobro player. So my actual first instrument was the accordion. I didn't stick with it for too long. I did find the guitar pretty fast after that and was lucky enough to get a nice, little classical guitar. So then I, sort of shifted into guitar world, and I have an uncle who's a great folk guitar player, a lot of finger picking, lots of, just a lot of folk music. And that's really how I got my start in, just playing the guitar, with a lot of finger style work, a lot of classical guitar, things like that. Of course, you get into high school and everybody's, using a pick and playing electric guitars, and that sort of blew my mind. So I slowly, started getting into that. Actually, you know what? The first Strat that I ever had, I won it at a Fender. It was like a demo they were doing around my house. And that was the very first real electric guitar that I ever had. My parents had bought me one before that, but it was like, I would guess like a $40 guitar. It was a perfectly fine first electric guitar, but getting a free Strat, a Japanese Strat, I couldn't have been happier. It was so, so awesome. So anyway, that's the Strat. Let's see. So I went through high school like any other normal high schooler. I would just sort of, lock myself in rooms most of the time and just play a lot of guitar. And it wasn't until I got into college where I met Marty Schwartz, where I really started being like, okay, I think I want to be a professional musician. But it didn't come that quickly, actually. The first year that Marty and I were in college, we were both film students. And at that time at the school, they had a 1-year candidacy program. So meaning for 1 year, it was like one long year of audition or something like that. And at the end of the year, they would say yes or no, you did not get into the department. Marty and I, neither of us got into that department. And it really sucked. It was painful. We just spent a year of our lives doing it. And I remember being in one of the buildings, in the theater building, and talking to one of my friends about it and just being really upset about the fact, obviously, that I just spent a year of my life and now I'm not going to be a film major. But he came over and said, I don't mean to interrupt, but, I heard you talking about the film department thing and wanted to let you know I've already heard you play. So if you want to be a music major, you can just come on over to the music department and be a music major, and no audition or anything, So I was like, huh, music major. I think I could do that. Yeah, sure, I'll be a music major. So it was like that. It was that kind of, literally the conversation lasted maybe 1 minute, but my whole life took a turn for the better, really. And I couldn't have been happier about it. So then I started being a music major, which was just awesome. I loved it. My mother hated it. I loved it. But it was cool, I was suddenly around a lot of people who were thinking about the same things I was, playing the same things I was, or, just interested in learning the same things that I was. And that is also where I really started learning how to record. Now, I had teachers like Jono Manson, who some of you might remember from the other video that I've made with Jono. excuse me, he's one of the most creative engineers you'll ever work with or ever know. And God, a prolific songwriter, just an all-around great guy. If you ever are in Santa Fe, New Mexico and are looking for somebody to record your music, go to John O. Manson. Hands down, he's your best bet for getting a good sound every single time. He taught me a lot of stuff. And after that, so I get out of school, trying to do this kind of quickly, get out of school, started working at a music shop called The Candyman, which was, is still there. It's a big guitar store and they do everything under the sun music related. So that was a great place. If you're young and trying to figure out how do I, why do I know all this stuff about equipment? It's because I worked music retail for 6 years. And that's where I really became, it's important as a salesman in a music shop to know as much about all the equipment that you can. So that's where I really started being interested in, the equipment and the cables and the microphones or the guitar strings or whatever. Over that amount of time working there, I was able to learn a lot about many different aspects of the music industry, be it, like I said, guitar strings or the quality cable or whatever. I just learned a lot of stuff there. And then I started working at a recording studio after that, and it was called Stepbridge, or is called Stepbridge Studios. It's a Class A recording studio in Santa Fe. That was an amazing experience. I will say I did get in there as an assistant, so I was doing a lot of like cleaning toilets and getting bottles of water for the clients and stuff like that. But after some time, I did actually become an engineer there, and I did engineer a couple sessions in the B room that they had over there, and very first thing I ever recorded with them was a voiceover for a Range Rover commercial, and the actors who were doing the voices were Billy Baldwin and James Woods, actually. And I'll never forget, because James Woods had a line, and it was, I don't even remember what year it was, but he was like, the 2000 Range Rover even has an ashtray big enough for your finest Cuban cigar. And I just remember, I'll never forget that line, because it just made me realize, wow, how weird advertising can be, and marketing and all that stuff. And they were just trying to sell Range Rovers to people in like Beverly Hills and LA and places like that. Totally weird that they're using an ashtray to do that, but anyway, so I got out of the B room after a few months of working there, and then I started working in the A room, and that was on an SSL, one of the G series, if anybody knows what that is. It's an amazing mixer. I mean, it is hands down the mixer that's responsible for the majority of the the most popular albums on the planet. The SSL is an amazing piece of technology. It still is, and a lot of people still use them. Although, God, they're so much cheaper now than they were back then. But, so working there, at that studio especially, they had the SSL console, we had Neve sidecar, lots of Pultec preamps. I mean, you name it, they had it, Neumann's, and one of everything kind of a place, really, really great experience. Now, after that, the whole time I was working at the Candyman in the studio, I was always playing, lots of playing. And I was playing in a band called Standing Wave. I was a mandolin player. I am a mandolin player, but I was the mandolin player for Standing Wave for a long time. That band was, a very, very hard-working band. We had toured all over the place and played all over the place, all, on our own work. And actually, we were lucky enough to get picked up by the William Morris Agency, which, if you don't know who that is, that's one of the largest booking agents on the planet. Go ahead and just look at WMA.com. And you can see their client roster is extensive. And I mean, they have people, like everybody from Aerosmith to Will Smith on there. It's a long list of amazing people. And I'm honored to say that I was on that list for a few years. It was, a great time. Toured all over the place, played all these big festivals, House of Blues, and, started in the van, moved up to the RV, eventually ended up in a bus, of course, and did that whole thing for for many years, probably 5 or 6 years. I was just constantly on the road. That's what it felt like, at least. And hundreds and hundreds of shows every year. And that kind of started wearing thin on me, and I ended up moving to Europe, and that's where I met Valentina from The Real Italian Kitchen. And, over there I had a band, I was producing albums, I was working in a recording studio, I was just generally being, I don't know, lazy, a guitar player. I don't know, I was being lots of things, but productive wasn't one of them. And I wanted to do something new. And this is right when Marty was starting guitarjams.com, and he and I had a lot of conversations on the phone, and he was like, you know, you should start a YouTube channel. And I had already made a couple of videos, and I don't know if any of you have seen my original YouTube channel. It's pretty funny, and I'm not even going to tell you, but it's not hard to find. There's a couple like mandolin lessons on there. There's like some Spinal Tap guitar lessons on there. I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing. If you actually watched the, I made a delay trick video. And if you watch that video, that was in my living room when I was still living in Italy. So, but Marty was the one who was like, you should start a YouTube channel about, you know, whatever you could do it about. And I started thinking, well, I know a lot about home recording. That was something I was getting interested in, especially at that time, because I had a Mac and GarageBand and all that stuff. And so I started GarageBand and Beyond, and here I am 150 videos later. It's amazing. I think that's pretty much it. You know, I think you guys know now I'm playing with Mark Silver and the Stone Throwers and Sunshine Superman. Both have YouTube channels. Feel free to bam, bam. Feel free to go look at these. And those are the bands that I play in if you don't know. And I make YouTube videos for you guys. So that's what I do. And oh, one question that I get all the time is, how do I make money being a musician? Because this is a big concern for a lot of you, I know. The trick is multiple sources of income, you know? So like I play in multiple bands, which all pay. I teach, I run a YouTube channel. I do a lot of different things that I can, but you know, like I said, multiple income streams. For me, that's been a very, you know, beneficial way to live. I've been very happy, been very, very fortunate. It's a cool way to go, you know? I mean, sometimes it gets a little thinner than others and it gets a little scary, but I'm never too far, you know, down, and I always have food in my fridge and my bills are always paid. So I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. And, you know, a lot of it is because of you guys have made my YouTube channel a mild success. And, you know, I'm always encouraging people to post my videos and, you know, help me build this thing up. You know, I'd love for GarageBand and Beyond to be even bigger. So, you know, that's that. You guys, I hope this wasn't too boring for you. I hope that, you know, maybe you learned something or just found it interesting. I really do hope at very least you found it interesting. Thank you so much, everybody. We will be coming back next week with a video, another highly requested video on the Facebook page. And that's it. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you next week. See you guys.